Namaste and welcome to the Essence of Knowledge weekly meeting. This meeting is a part of the Essence of Knowledge program, which is available for all seekers online on gyanmark.guru. It is completely free of cost and it is completely online. In these meetings, we conduct the activities of the program, including questions and answers, and I try to answer them. I try to clear your doubts and help you regarding the program. So, all questions are most welcome if there are any. So, we have a question by Shaila. Could you kindly tell us about the relationship of the heart mentioned by wise men and awareness? Heart and awareness, how they are related. So it depends on the definition of this word, and whoever has told that will be best to explain it. This is the formula. But you can tell me the definition and then I'll be probably able to find some relationship. Shala is saying, this was told by Sri Raman Maharshi Ji in few discourses. I think he said the seat of self is in the heart, not the physical heart. So you can guess that the seat of the self is your essence. Like we say, heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is, it is this, it is that. So depending on the language and the poetry, it simply means your essence. And awareness is remembering your essence or knowing your true essence, knowing the self and remaining in that knowledge is awareness. So recently I wrote this article on definitions and quotes. Everybody should read it. Always use the terminology of the person from whom you are learning, not any other terminology. Because our program is not teaching anything from teachings of or the philosophy of Raman Maharshi. It is not about that. So it will be mostly wrong. Whenever I say something from outside the program, it is mostly just blind guess. So you will need to either convert it into our program terminology, translate your question like this into our program, or simply approach that person who is teaching it and get the doubt cleared. Because mixing of two teachings, two teachers, more than two, many paths and many philosophies will not produce any clarity. Because what will happen next day, you will read some other word in some other book. For example, some book will say that seat of the soul is the core of the being, something like this. You see. Now you will come again here. What is this core? And there is no way to find out, you see. But if you ask me something from the program, it will be very clear because everything is very precisely defined there. No poetry, no confusion between physical heart and non-physical heart. That is a big problem, isn't it? I repeat this many times, so I am again repeating it. First, everybody should read that article on wise words, definitions and quotes. It will save you many hours of headache. And second, one teacher, one path. In this way you will progress. One day one teacher, next day the other, one day one book, next day something else is not going to make you progress. Why this happens? Because you heard this one sentence somewhere or you read this one thing somewhere, did not follow the whole teaching. It is impossible that that teacher who is very great did not define it. It is impossible. He must have defined it somewhere. He must have introduced to the spiritual heart. Because you never studied systematically in that system, it won't be of any use. Now asking it to somebody else who does not even know the meaning of that is also of no use. The best we can do is do a blind guess from the meanings of the words, the general meanings, and it is mostly wrong. So anyhow, questions can be asked about something else, some other philosophy, but the answers are simply guesswork. No concrete knowledge will be produced. How to get the concrete knowledge? Without depending on the words. Stick to one path, one teacher, one terminology, one language. Always use the same words so that we know what we are talking about, and look for the meaning of the word in your own experience. Otherwise, it will become a bookish knowledge or simply whatever we call as intellectual knowledge. That is only knowledge of words, no solid experience behind it. That's why we define everything precisely, and I try to point to your own experience. When I say experience, let us say this, take this word, it is defined as that which is manifested, that which is appearing. Now, in which dictionary you need to check the meaning? Now, in which meeting do you need to go to ask the meaning of the word experience? Whom should you ask? It is very clearly defined like this. So you can open your eyes and look around. Is anything appearing? Are there visions? Are there sounds? Is there taste, smell, touch, anything at all? Thoughts, emotions, world, objects, people? Is anything appearing? Yes. So extremely clear. No heart, no kidney, no liver, isn't it? That is why this program is whole and complete. It is the only program in this universe right now which is like this. The rest is whatever you said, open to interpretation by anybody. Only this program has this accuracy, nothing else. So what are you doing? You are ignoring the program, you are ignoring your own experience, and you are trying to find something somewhere else. Is that smartness? So anyhow, you can do all that research about who said what after the program. Right now, mental discipline, intellectual discipline, following the instructions is necessary. Otherwise, the program will be total failure. So my suggestion is read all your notes, go through all the definitions, see whether they are actual or not. Is there anything which is undefined, which does not correspond to your own experience, and which does not make any logical sense, meaning? And let me know. And those who are not progressing, unfortunately, nothing can be done about them. So either I remove them from the program, or we end their membership of the group. So this shows that they are not interested in the program. If you read that article, I say it very clearly there that if you are asking something like this, which is totally unrelated to what is being taught, or you're not interested in following the instructions and proceeding in the program, it simply shows that you're not interested in the program. So shall I sing, this thought occurred because of the subtle vibrations felt during contemplation and awareness. Well, it should not occur because there is no relationship between contemplation, awareness, vibrations and feelings or Raman Maharshi. There is no logical connection between them. So when you are doing the awareness practice, whatever appears, you need to simply remain aware. No need to make any connections with something. No need to find the meaning of that. Any kind of unusual experiences can happen, but very rarely, less than 1% of people, and it means really nothing. It can be a reaction of the mind or reaction of the body. That's all it is. Usually, in awareness and contemplation, when you found the answer, when you realize something, the body and mind produces very good sensation. You will get a sense of happiness and peace, bliss. That is all that happens usually. And to connect it with some other thoughts which you heard somewhere, you read somewhere, is totally meaningless. So usually there is no connection. So what happens when you imagine things? It increases your ignorance. So always come back to awareness. This happened. It is not me. That's all. It is another illusion. The mind will produce all kinds of thoughts. What is this? Why is this happening? Simply watch all those thoughts also. Yes, there is one precaution there which everybody should take, especially those who are doing the awareness practice, that if it becomes something negative, you feel afraid or you feel angry or anything at all, a bad experience, you should immediately stop the practice and you should immediately tell me, because that means that there is some kind of resistance in the mind. Otherwise, everything that appears is simply a reaction of the mind and it goes away naturally. So my suggestion will be to again listen to the chapter on awareness and in step number 2 as well as step number 4. It is not anything except remembering the knowledge. Nothing unusual should happen. Okay, Sunil is saying, my understanding is that self-realization, which is the goal of path of knowledge, is actually a concept of duality. And I think the suffering ends at this. Then we also have the concept of non-duality, which says about oneness. Do oneness the step after the first one? Probably you are asking, is oneness the step after self-realization? Yes, but there are some mistakes in your statement, your understanding. The goal of path of knowledge is destruction of ignorance, not self-realization. And non-duality is not a concept. Can we know non-duality without knowing what is duality? No. If I simply tell you everything is one, nothing will be understood. Because what is the meaning of everything? How it is defined? And I say experience and the experiencer are one, and nothing will be understood. What is this experiencer? Which experience you are talking about? People will say like this. So that is why not only this step of self-realization, all the steps are necessary before that. Simply jumping on one or the other conclusion will not be fruitful. Nobody understands. Systematic study is needed. So we start by how to get knowledge, First thing we state the goal, destruction of ignorance. Then we define what is ignorance. Probably you must have noted that. Then we try to define how to clear it. That is the means of knowledge. How to know what is true. That is the criteria of truth. And this sets up the ground. Then we go to the most basic. What is? We define it also very precisely. Then the question comes, who is witnessing whatever is appearing? And are they two separate realities? Which means, are there two truths? Is one independent of the other? Like this. There are many steps. Not only that, after that you need to verify it. You need to actually verify all the steps, all the 20 chapters. So listening, contemplating, which is verification, and then abiding. You cannot abide if you have not verified, because it may be true, it may not be true. Like you said, it is a concept. So probably it is a concept for you. You have not verified it, that it is actually non-dual. So the abiding is impossible. Contemplation or verification is not possible if it was not listened carefully. Nothing was noted. Notes were not taken. Definitions were not remembered. So self-realization is not a concept of duality. Concept of duality says that there are two realities. Whatever is appearing, the world, body, etc. is also true. And that which is witnessing is also true. That is the concept of duality. And it is surely a concept. But your understanding is not correct. Why did that happen? Let me know. What is the correct understanding of self-realization? Self-realization means I am not any experience. That's all. Not this, not this. Very simple. And it is not a concept. You can see it. You can prove it through your own direct experience and logic. So probably you've not done that. Let me know where are you facing difficulties in verification or in listening. Because the whole point of our meetings is this only, to help you go through the program. It is not like interpreting books and whatever other teachers are saying. And it is not about general spirituality, how to live and how to solve problems and all. Nothing. It is simply, our meeting is simply about the contents of the program. Sometimes we take some off-topic things, but only when I see that, yes, everybody is progressing, then it is okay. Sometimes entertainment is also okay, general knowledge. Sunil is saying, in my verification, I find all the concepts are true. Now you are saying that you verified and the concepts are true. No, concepts cannot be true. Concepts are only concepts. That is why we call them concepts. They are conceptual. You need to verify what your experience is saying. Does it match with the teaching, the pointings? I have never taught any concept in our program. What are the concepts? Reincarnation, creation of the vibrations and senses and so on, you see. Karmic theories. These are concepts which are not in the path of knowledge. And nothing is a concept here. You get 1 month to verify and appear in the exam. Why 1 month? Because even 1 day is enough to verify everything. There is nothing there which needs you to go somewhere to search for something, to get new experience of some kind, to read books. Nothing at all. It is in front of you. Everything is in front of you. It takes 1 day. Sometimes there are some bright people. They listen to the lesson, verification is done. Okay, next question by Kulpreet. I am the experiencer who is experiencing this experience. Ignorance with the limiting senses of this body-mind system. Is this reminder to self a good reminder? No. See, experience does not mean ignorance. What is the definition of ignorance? Can anybody tell me? We need to go to the basic. So I'll ask Kulpreet only. No need for everybody to find the definition of ignorance. Let me know. What is the definition of ignorance? Which experience is ignorance? So anyway, this is my normal routine, you see, to encourage people to actually find the meanings of the words and verify it. Have you checked the meaning of the word ignorance, or you think it is equal to experience? Kulpreet is saying that is not true and I consider it to be true. It is somewhat like ignorance, yes. As soon as you say it is not true, but I consider it to be true, it is not really ignorance. It is simply a supposition. It is a consideration that for the time being, I'll take it as true. I know it is not true, but I'll take it as true. That is called the relative truth, not ignorance. In ignorance, you completely believe that it is true, or you completely believe that this is false. Like believing that the experiencer is not there, it is false. So, what is the actual definition of ignorance? Assumptions, imaginations, blind beliefs, superstitions, hearing this from there and reading that from here, that is ignorance. If you already know it is not true, but I consider it true, then it is simply supposition. You can say that it is considered in a certain way, and that becomes ignorance. Not always true. Sometimes you can say that in ignorance also you can say that this thing is completely false. This teaching's non-duality is completely false. So that is ignorance. Or it is simply a concept, like intellectual word only. So that is ignorance. So experience is not ignorance. Experience is what is in front of you. That's all. As soon as you completely believe that whatever is appearing is true, then you can say it is ignorance. Probably that's what you mean. But here you already know, because you are doing the awareness practice. We can assume that you already know it is not true. Then there is no need to call it ignorance. So, in awareness practice, you need to simply remind that you are not the body mind or anything else. See how simple it is. Is there a need to make it so complicated? Bringing the senses and so on, limiting of the experience and so on. What if you get an unlimited experience, let us say, imagine for a while, your sense does not limit it like it does usually. It will not limit it, it will give you something more. Let us say the experience becomes 200%, twice. What will happen to the awareness practice now? Because your reminder is not working now. Whatever is appearing, you are the witness. You are not that which is appearing. It is so simple. We don't even call it true or false. There is no need. In the existence, nothing is true, nothing is false, isn't it? There is no need to remember that. Only sometimes you need to see that it is an illusion, that which is appearing. Sometimes. Let us say you see a diamond necklace. Now you want to get it. Your mind will say like this, I want this. But no money. So you will run here and there for money. You will either borrow it. You will work hard and do whatever it takes to earn that money. Now, to avoid this kind of unnecessary action, there it is very important. It is useful to realize that this necklace is an illusion. It is just carbon atoms, isn't it? There you can bring some complication there. What am I looking at? And then you can check your mind, thoughts, desires. Not mine. They are illusions. They appear, disappear. Therefore, they are like a dream. And that will save you all that unnecessary suffering. So awareness causes end of suffering. Because the more aware you are, the less actions will be there. Less unnecessary actions. If you are happy with, you have already reduced your actions so that the life is simple, and you are doing everything that is necessary, because you see, eating and all these things, breathing, they are also illusions, but they are necessary. So there the concept of illusion does not work. It is what it is. You accept it. Nothing is true and nothing is false in the existence. And I am the witness of this. I'll take that which is necessary. That's all. That is why these details are not included in the practice of awareness. Only rarely we say that think of all the experiences as illusions, because it is useless. You will need to do that which is necessary. Because remember, the awareness practice is happening completely in the illusion. Awareness itself is a mental activity. Illusion. So people must be wondering, what kind of path of knowledge is this? The practice itself is illusory. Yes, that is why there is no practice on the path of knowledge. So to avoid this kind of falling back in ignorance, the practice is recommended for newcomers. That's all. It is very simple. I am the witness. I have already verified it. It is not a concept for me. It is not a theory for me. It is not a philosophy for me. I am the witness. And then simply remembering this in your waking state as much as you can, because obviously you will forget. This is mental activity. So sometimes the other activities which are more important, they replace this. But as soon as you remember what is happening, yes, you need to simply remember. Or if you cannot remember that you are the experiencer, probably you forgot the definition. So I'll not ask you the definition right now, because I know some problem is going on in our meetings. Shaila does not know the definitions of awareness, but she is practicing it. You do not know the definition of ignorance. Sunil knows absolutely nothing. Something is wrong here. So I'll not ask you more definitions. Probably you will do that homework. But if you forget that you are the experiencer, it's not a big problem. Just do not assume that I am the body mind. Just do not believe this thought to be true. You say, I don't know what I am. I am what I am, but I don't know what this thing is. The eternal and the unborn and the omnipresent. I don't know all these things. You can say like this. No need to recall all that. You simply say, I'm not this body mind. Whatever happens here in this body mind, I'm not that. It is not mine. See how easy it is. So awareness practice is a negative practice. You don't want to do that which causes ignorance. It is very simple. Because anyway you will never know the experiencer. Nothing is known. So what do? At least we remove the ignorance. We try to remove the ignorance. The thoughts of ignorance. That I am Kulpreet, I am this and that, I am male and female, I am big and small, I am rich and poor. What are these? Thoughts of ignorance. As soon as they start coming, you become aware. Aware means you are now paying attention. What is happening? And you reject them. It is not me. And this will happen sometimes within 24 hours of the waking, not 24, 12 to 16 hours of the waking state. It will happen automatically. It is the result of your knowledge. So you need to stay there. It is not more than that. Nothing more needs to be done. No vibrations, no feelings, isn't it? Good thing is, it is simple, but it is the most powerful practice in the universe. How will you know it is most powerful? You don't know. You need to try it. You need to practice it. After a long practice, many years, you will start seeing that why it is the most powerful. Not now. No need to make it so complicated. I am not this creature. Simple, isn't it? The more simple it is, the more powerful it will become. Because now it is easier to do. Do you really want to call you this creature, body-mind system with limiting senses? Nobody wants to call it. Just don't call it me. That's all. Negative practice. So let me know if there are any more doubts. See, this is the point of meeting. As soon as you get a doubt about the practice, etc., you need to ask it. You don't need to ask anything about your opinions or the things that you heard or about something else which is not related to the program or the path of knowledge, because I won't be able to answer it. Then I just start seeing that the program is not working here and I start losing interest in that person. So what will happen is, if you complicate this awareness practice, it's simplest, easier than breathing, isn't it? Who am I? Easier than breathing. What if you complicate it? One day you will say, today I forgot to include the limiting senses. I cannot remember the body-mind system, what it is. Because it is now not easier than breathing now. All kinds of complications are appearing here. So see, are you there right now? It will take 1 second to notice that you are there. Now do you need to add 100 things and words into that, which you are right now? I am asking Kulpreet, are you there? How many words do you need to add on that? Experiencing the experiencer or something like that. It is all garbage. Words are not needed in awareness practice. Senses, whether they're limited or don't, you don't need to remember all that. How easy it is. Just be in contact with your true nature. Most of the time, if you can do it 24/7, you will become like Mahayogi, which is very difficult, isn't it? So, as much as you can, but do not add anything in the practice. It will pollute the practice. It will make it a faulty practice. Remove instead of adding. Purify. See clearly what you are. That's all. It takes less than 1 second. If you have self-realization, if you don't, nothing will bring the awareness. No amount of words will bring the awareness. Shaila is saying, awareness is the mental activity. You answered my next question. This meeting are useful to shed away the ignorance. Very good. Yes, it is mental activity. We discussed this last time also. It is clearly mentioned in the program. It is called a layer of the mind. So why this is happening? Why do you have a question about awareness? Because you do not listen to the lesson. That day also I told you, please go and listen at least to these lessons on awareness. There is a lesson in step number 2. There are some more lessons. I think step number 4 is completely about awareness. But probably you did not. You must have written down in the notes. So when you wrote down about awareness, what did you write there in the notes? I don't know. I completely forgot because I need to check notes of many people every day. It's not possible for me. What did you write there in your notes about the awareness? How did you define it? Have you checked? Because you will get a question about it only when it was missed somehow. Only when you did not pay attention to what was told about the awareness and the awareness practice. As soon as I say, remember who you are, it is remembering only. Is that not mental activity? Now, what has happened is you have heard so much about awareness. You have 20 definitions of it in your mind, including the heart and lungs and so on. You have completely ignored the definition in our program of awareness practice. It is not awareness, it is awareness practice. In short, we call it awareness or being aware, witnessing. It is so simple. So what has happened is the past conditioning, you did not drop it. And that is why you are not able to learn anything new. Probably in every meeting, I define awareness again and again. So what happens is you open the dictionary and look there or you Google it. That is not how we do the program. Check your notes. If you did not take the note, did not note the definition, go back and listen what was told about awareness. What is it? Is it something like experiencer or existence or the fundamental essence? If you think it is like this, let me know. Let me know where it was said. So not paying attention to the lessons and not letting go of all that which you accumulated and not listening to my answer in the meetings. You are lost in your own world of imagination. As soon as I say, remember, and it is any intelligent person will understand, remember means it is mental, something which comes and goes. As soon as I say that this is a practice, you will know it is some kind of experience. It comes and goes. And when I say you will forget, that is why you need practice. You should understand it. It appears and disappears. So what is the awareness now, if not mental activity? I mean, how much time it will take to understand what this is, if you are really interested. So what has happened is you are interested in something else, not the program. Let me know if you are interested. Go and check. So meetings are useful, yes. Because if I don't do the meeting, if I don't point out where everybody's going, you will reach nowhere. This program will also become another garbage collecting activity. He said that, okay, this book said that, okay, Essence of Knowledge program said that. Next program, yoga, kundalini, breathing, serpent. Okay, I am spiritual now. This is foolishness. So I don't want this program to become like this. As soon as I see that people are not disciplined, they are removed. As soon as I see they are not following the instructions, if you don't understand anything, you can ask it. But even after my answer, no action is taken. Even after I answer it, because we talk about awareness in every meeting. There are lots and lots of videos. Still you can ask, but you should think about it first. You should do your own work first. So I am doing my work. I am doing it 24/7 simply so that one person gets a little bit of knowledge. So when I am going, let us say 8 steps, you need to take at least 2 steps. But it is very unfortunate. I am seeing it with my own eyes now that this is not happening. Very few people are interested in learning. They think this meetings are chit chat, spiritual talk only. Instructions are for stupid people. I am very smart. I don't need to follow any instruction. So program fails. And you see, I also don't feel good because I'm doing so much for running this program free of cost. I'm spending a lot of time. And when I get this kind of people who do not have any value of this thing, so I'm discouraged. So if I keep getting such students, probably the program will shut down. As soon as you get a doubt about what this word means, what is this practice, the first thing you should do is check the program. Is it there or not? And it will be there. Otherwise, there was no point in recording all that and asking you to go through that. And if it is not there, it is useless. It need not be done. It need not be known. It is not in our scope. It is out of syllabus, including some things about path of knowledge. Because the program is very condensed. It is very special kind of way to know. Otherwise, I would have put everything from the scriptures and all the gurus, all the words of all the scriptures and gurus. And that causes no knowledge, only confusion. So if you do not find anything in the program, it will be completely useless. And if you find it, but you don't understand it, then you can ask me. If I cannot also answer you, I cannot understand what I'm saying about awareness or anything else, it is best to drop out of the program. The one who is teaching could not answer. That means it must be completely useless for you. Shalax is saying, I'm not discouraged. I take it to be the grace. But I feel very bad, you see, because I assume that the seekers on the path of knowledge are very intelligent. They need not be told anything. They need not take any instructions. They know what to do. But I find totally opposite. Even after my suggestions and instructions fail to make you progress or to even bring any clarification about basic things like awareness or duality, non-duality, and so on, you see, means of knowledge, what is true, what is not. If the basics are also not known, then I recommend to take some other path. You see, take something which is more useful for you, where you can progress, instead of just spending time in the program. You are on your own mostly. This is online program. I can come here and answer some things. If I see no progress, then I don't do much. Sometimes I hope that people will take some hint. So I keep asking, did you listen to that? Did you memorize the definitions? And people usually don't pay any attention to what I say. So sometimes I keep sending hints. When the limit is crossed, then only I say you are not progressing. You are not paying attention. Or this program is not suitable. Only then I say. Sometimes I let them go through the program because nothing more can be done. And we hand over the certificate. Nothing happens in their life. No improvement, no knowledge, no spiritual progress. They only get the certificate. Anyhow, I hope it will benefit you. If you still have any questions, you can ask me next time. Today will end today's meeting. Thank you everybody for joining. Namaste.